What's going on, everybody? My name is Drew and I like to draw cartoons. And with today's video, I'll be doing exactly as the title says, and I'll be talking about how last year I drew Buddy the Elf in 10 different cartoon styles. We are now fully into November. Spooky season is very much in the past now, unfortunately, but that means it's time for Christmas. And now it's time to talk about some Christmas drawings. Elf the movie and Buddy the Elf the character is one of my favorite in all of Christmas. I always love watching Elf with my family, and I love the character Buddy the Elf because I'm a big fan of Will Ferrell. And he just does a great job in this performance. So it's one of my favorite Christmas movies, and it's a lot of other people's favorite Christmas movies as well. So it's always fun during Christmas time to draw Buddy the Elf in different cartoon styles and reimagine him into different things. I've drawn Buddy the Elf a lot over the years. I drew him in 2020, and I drew him last year as well. So I'm going to be mainly talking about the ones I did last year, because I feel like those are the ones that are the best ones so far. And I'll probably also do some more this year. We'll see. If you guys want to see more Buddy the Elf drawings or Buddy the Elf art, please make sure to let me know. And what other stuff you might want to see from me during Christmas time in the comments. So like all my different cartoon style series, I always like to start by looking at the character and seeing what are the aspects of that character that need to be present every single time I draw them. What are the aspects of the character that you will look at that drawing and be able to tell that that is that character. With Buddy the Elf, it's pretty simple. You got to definitely make sure you have that green and yellow costume. He's got the green and yellow pointy hat with the red feather on the side as well. And then he's got the green and yellow full elf jumpsuit with the fluffy collar, fluffy areas around the wrists as well. He's got some like yellow patterns going down the middle, a belt, and then he's got the yellow tights and the big curled at the end black elf shoes. Can't forget Will Ferrell's iconic brown curly hair as well. And if you put all those aspects together, you're going to find yourself with a Buddy the Elf drawing. So now it's almost time to dive into these drawings. But before I do, as always, please make sure to like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok, and follow me on Letterboxd as well. And I also want to announce some new merch that will be dropping, including this awesome Buddy the Elf yelling for Santa crew neck, and there's a lot of other awesome designs that you'll see in this video that you can buy on merchandise in my store, in the link in my bio or the link in the description. Enough rambling from me, let's dive right in. The first style we'll be talking about today is South Park. South Park is definitely one of my more popular styles, and it's one of my favorite ones to do. I always love doing South Park, and I feel like I've really gotten it down at this point. South Park, like I say, always has these like oval-shaped eyes that kind of look like they're leaning up against each other, and they are almost always going to be looking dead on at you or looking off to the left or the right. And then for this one, I just basically base them off the iconic Elf poster where he's just standing there with his hands on his hips and the little smile. In the finished product you'll see right here, Buddy the Elf in the style of South Park. Up next, I'll talk about Buddy the Elf in the Peanuts style, the Charlie Brown or Snoopy style, which is what you actually see on this crew neck right here. Anytime I get the chance to do something where it looks like they're yelling or screaming something, I love doing that in the Peanuts style because I love the look of them like looking up and all you can see on their face is their mouth and then putting whatever they're screaming up above them. I've done that a few other times with Darth Maul yelling Kenobi. I absolutely love doing this, so I couldn't resist doing that for Buddy the Elf in the finished product right here of Buddy the Elf yelling Santa as a Peanuts character. And the next style is another favorite of mine, another style that you've seen on this channel a lot, and that is Bluey. Bluey is, again, one of my favorite styles to do. I always love trying to imagine different characters as Bluey characters, and this one is basically the same thing. I try to take their hair color and basically make that the color of their fur, the color that you see for most of them. And then with this one, since Will Ferrell has like brown, like curly hair, I try to imagine him kind of as like a brown doodle, like a golden doodle type of thing, but with a more brown hair color. And then also in this one, he's going to look very excited because he's very excited for Santa, and his tail's gonna be wagging in the back in the finished product right here of Buddy the Elf in the style of Bluey. The next style I have right here is Buddy the Elf in the style of The Simpsons. The Simpsons are an iconic cartoon and has such an iconic cartoon design because of the yellow skin and the look of the characters. So I definitely want to make sure I did Buddy the Elf in the style of The Simpsons. With The Simpsons, when they're looking off to the side, you'll typically see that their lip goes in from the chin design. That's very similar to the design of Futurama, and even Bob's Burgers at times, when they're looking off to the side, their lip goes right into the cheek design. So that's what you'll see right here for Buddy the Elf, and he also is very excited. And when a Simpsons character is typically screaming like that, you'll see their tongue kind of squiggle out like that. In the finished product, you'll see right here what I'm talking about. Buddy the Elf in the style of The Simpsons. Now this one is not much of a cartoon style, but more of just turning a character into Buddy the Elf, and that is the character of SpongeBob. I've said this before, SpongeBob is one of the first characters that I really learned how to draw from memory, so I always loved drawing SpongeBob in some way, and SpongeBob really has such a great Christmas special too, that is very iconic from my childhood, so I wanted to include SpongeBob in this as well. This one's pretty simple, it's just SpongeBob dressed as Buddy the Elf, as you'll see right here. SpongeBob very excited for the holiday, dressed as Buddy the Elf. Now up next I have the style of the Powerpuff Girls. Now a lot of people typically comment on my Powerpuff Girl drawings and say that I'm not drawing in the style because I'm just drawing them as a Powerpuff Girl, but I just think that's so much more fun. I would just much rather do that. I'd much rather just take the iconic basic look of a Powerpuff Girl with the circular head, the giant eyes, the small mouth, and then the little nubby arms and the tiny torso. I just love that design, so I always love doing that. And this is going to be no different with Buddy the Elf in the finished product right here of Buddy the Elf in the style of the Powerpuff Girls. Next style I'll be talking about is the style of Family Guy. Now, Family Guy is a style that is very much realistic in connecting to what people actually look like. Sometimes with cartoons, they're obviously more cartoony and not always super realistic. But Family Guy does a pretty good job of being able to translate people into that style, and it looks pretty good. So Family Guy always will have the perfect circle eyes that are a little bit spaced apart, and then the cheek will go right from where the eye ends. The eye will go right here, and then the cheek will start going over here, and the chin will never fully connect. The chin will always kind of cut off, and then you'll see the neck design over here. That's usually how I'm able to connect Family Guy characters. Obviously, if they're someone like Peter Griffin, they're not going to have like the chin connect because they have the chin that connects to their mouth. But for Buddy the Elf, that would be the case in the finished product right here of Buddy the Elf as a Family Guy character. Just a few more here to discuss, and the next one I'm going to be talking about is the codename Kids Next Door style. This style is always so fun to try to take this and then convert it into other different kinds of characters. I love this style so much. I basically call it like the Stewie Griffin style because I just basically go off of how they have like a football-shaped head with very big ears. They have just black circle eyes, not much more detailed than that. And then they'll have a tiny torso, smaller arms, and smaller legs in comparison to their large hands and large feet. And you'll see that in the finished product right here. A Buddy the Elf as a codename Kids Next Door character with the big curled shoes, the big hands, and the giant football-shaped head for Buddy the Elf as a KND character. And now up next, we'll talk about Buddy the Elf as a Fairly Odd Parents character. When I look at the Fairly Odd Parents style, I typically like to design them more as like the kid template or the fairy template, basically, where they have the D-shaped head, the ear off to the side with a 6 in it, and then their whole rest of the body just has one thick black outline also. And then they also have the two big perfect circle eyes right next to each other. And you'll see in the finished product right here of Buddy the Elf in the style of the Fairly Odd Parents. And the last one I'll be talking about today is Buddy the Elf in the style of Bob's Burgers. I recently brought up Bob's Burgers and I was talking about The Simpsons, how when they look off to the side, their mouth will typically connect from their cheek. But with the Bob's Burgers style, if they're looking dead on at you, they just have the lines of their face and then the mouth and eyes and everything within there. And that's how Buddy's going to look here. And then their eyes are also like kind of like oval shaped, kind of like South Park as well, but more spaced out with smaller pupils. And you'll see in the finished product right here of Buddy the Elf in the style of Bob's Burgers. So there you have it. There's Buddy the Elf in 10 different cartoon styles. This is always so much fun to do. I think I want to do more Buddy the Elf drawings this year as well. I think I also might do like some Grinch ones, maybe some like Kevin from Home Alone stuff, maybe even some like Clark Griswold. I haven't done much of that, so I'm open to hearing some ideas. Let me know what kind of stuff you want to see from me during the holiday season this year. And again, don't forget to check out my shop for some Buddy the Elf inspired merch, including what I'm wearing right now, and also some other ones that you've seen throughout this video are shown on some merch as well. But as always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch my videos. Thank you so much for your time. And again, as always, like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Letterboxd. Like always, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day and keep on drawing.